Good morning, Sharon.
Hello, Wendy. How are you?
I'm really well. And you?
I'm great. Like, apart from the everyday life of ups and downs, and I've now got a cold from my beautiful grandchildren again.
No, well, it's sharing is caring, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Well, it's one of those things that day-to-day life does get in the way, like it
Oh,
does.
it does. It does. And I think I forget sometimes. I probably expectation can really try and it can throw a spanner in the works, can't it?
Oh, of course it can. And the greatest expectation that we have is of ourselves.
Yes,
Is
absolutely.
really being able to do all the things. It really is. I know because I said at the beginning of this year that I was not going to have so many balls in the air. And here we are, February, and it's all right. Like I've got, they're already in the air already. So anyway.
Look, I was doing so well, and I've started my 5-day challenge promotional, and it'll start on the 1st of March. So it's a 5-day self-esteem challenge. And I was like, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden, a number of things occurred, and it was like, here I am sitting up Valentine's Day Eve, bloody creating funnels and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
Oh, yeah. See, expectations. You'll have it done.
It is. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And our best laid plans don't always go as we think that they will.
No.
So, and you know what? I think this is where we have to learn, don't we? To, be really gentle on ourselves, but we've got to learn to be like water. We've just got to be able to be like water. And that's a really hard thing to do when you're in business.
Yeah.
I know I've been kicking myself because I've got things that haven't gone the way that I'd planned, and I've beaten myself up over it, umpteen times, thinking, I'm not doing enough. Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? But there's not the extra hours in the day for me to achieve everything. So I'm really okay with I'm giving it my all.
Yeah, I think I'm learning to like when I had planned, it was like I was going to do this, I was going to do this and this and this, and then all of those plans got thrown out of the water. And so obviously my immediate priority were my clients. And just even that day to myself to spend in the office didn't happen. And so you just got to allow it to let it go for a start. And then when I could get in, I did get in.
Yeah. Yep.
And I got what I needed done.
Yeah.
So I think I'm learning very much to manage that much better. I don't know about you, but I think I'm learning that frustration doesn't change it. And I already know that.
Yeah. And I was a real night owl, and I still am a real night owl.
I'm changing that.
Yeah, well, I have to, because I'm living my 21 spiritual. I've got to do 28 days of 21 spiritual practices for yoga. Yeah. And one of those is that I have to disconnect from, tech, or or I have to be away from it's in bed by 9, up by 4. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, and I do I'm hitting it most days. Yep. There is the odd day that I've got a brand new puppy and things don't go to plan. Yes. So and I'm very forgiving on myself for that. But at the end of the day, I am still hitting near enough the mark.
And that's a really important thing, isn't it?
I might be up at 3:30 with him and then jump back into bed, and I might get up at 5:30,
So is he still up in the middle of the night, Wendy? I thought he was sleeping through.
Well, he has been, but see, this is another story. We paid a lot of money for a pup, and he's got some skin issues, and it was they're allergy related. But there was really critical information that was omitted, and you know me, I do everything natural anyway. But we found out that he had an allergic reaction to the vaccine that he got when he first came with us.
Yep.
And with the at that time it was Simparica, and he had an allergic reaction to that as well. But it was only last week that I found out that he from 4 weeks until he was 3 to 4 weeks until he was like 8 weeks old was where the vet determined that he had coronavirus, and subsequently at his 8-week injections, they gave him a coronavirus injection. And that information was not given to me. Otherwise, I would have had 3 months of the 3 months that I've had now of pulling my hair out and trying to work out exactly what it is going on with this little pup, because it was driving him mad.
So what is it, like itchy or
the
something?
hundreds and hundreds of dollars that we've spent trying to resolve it. His little system's been cactus because they gave him 4.5 weeks of antibiotics and finished that, and then gave him the vaccination with the coronavirus vaccination. So to say I'm pissed is an understatement.
Yeah,
absolutely. I've really had a lot of anger about it, because it has, like, I've thrown so much money at trying to get him well, because it has been, he's just been a really unhappy in his skin. He's happy enough, he's a beautiful little pup,
yeah.
but you can see that it's just
I didn't
driving
realise he was
him
having all
mental.
those skin problems.
Not like it was just the itch. He wasn't having all the outbreaks. Well, now we've tried something different, and he's now, like, this morning has already been, for a little dog, like, he's 6 months old yesterday.
Oh, wow, that's more fast.
Yeah, and he's been out doing,
that is more
like,
fast.
he's done his business like 4 or 5 times this morning already. And it's just, this is just crazy. It's just, but you can feel him. And overnight time, because he sleeps on my bed, overnight time, he gets really hot. Like, I mean, and his body temperature all day is really hot. So he sleeps on a cooling mat, directly under a fan. During the day, he sleeps in aircon, like, just trying to cool him down, because that exacerbates the itch.
Yeah.
And so, I've just noticed this morning. So
especially given Queensland is having a heat wave.
Yeah, and the humidity is just shocking. So he, like, he's already had a bath this morning, and so he's just trying to alleviate. So and he's on he's
Poor
got
little fella.
that many supplements, but
hopefully that's getting sorted very soon.
Yeah, and it's time consuming. So, it's about priorities. See, it's about priorities. So it's one of those things where you've got to forgive yourself for the time that you dedicate elsewhere. Like,
oh, totally,
because
absolutely.
he has been a priority, and
priorities. He's got to have the snuggle before he goes.
Yeah.
So if anyone wasn't sure, if you're watching the reason we're laughing, if you're watching the YouTube, Wendy's son has come to make priorities right by giving their little puppy a snuggle and saying goodbye. So, that little fellow is very well loved in that family.
Oh, he is. He came to the right family, and we spoke to, went down and I met with the breeder of his sire on the weekend, and he just said he's, with everything that's going on with him, he's gone to the right family, but he's looking like he is a beautiful little pup. He's just gorgeous.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and he's got such a beautiful personality.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so, but he has been priority, this whole skin issue, and, making sure that he's comfortable at night time. And I didn't expect that for the impact that would have on me being able to do my business.
Yes.
It took time away. He's the priority. And it's been yeah, I've been juggling. So I've been juggling
We
personal
do.
life and then, you know, finishing off my yoga, my body talk, coaching, like all
Your
the things.
room, just
Yeah, my
getting ready
room.
for, you've already had one event there and you've got another one coming up. I know it is. It's absolutely crazy. And like, I think I felt like I was fighting this last year continuously, trying to, juggle those extra balls in the air. And it's funny, you and I used to have those conversations all the time. But all my clients that I'm speaking to at the moment, and just even if they're not a client, friends and stuff that I'm chatting to, people are saying to me, I had one person say to me last week, which really sort of threw me, said, I thought 2023 was going to be so much better. And all I do is I feel like I keep dealing with the same shit. And I went, well, we do have a lot of stuff that's coming up, but are you doing the same things in reaction? Is that why you're getting the same shit coming up? And that's like for me, you totally know my frustration from last year, wanting to do what I wanted to do. And I literally have thrown my arms into the air and gone, okay, I'm just going to wake each day and say, guide me what I need to do.
Yeah. Show me what it is today.
Because I feel that's how I have to be.
Yeah. Well, I've had to push back on a start date because of everything that's been going on. And and it's not ideal. No, it's not. But it is what it is.
Ideal to who, Wendy, in the sense that, like both of us spent time in roles where expectations were so high, demands were extreme, and we just took that as normal. And we've learned since both being in our business that that's not acceptable anymore. We don't have to live like that anymore. And a conversation I was having last night, I had friends over for dinner last night, and we were just laughing, and she was saying that because she retired as well, a younger woman in her 50s, and she said, I sometimes think I should go back to work and get a little part-time job, but I actually don't want to have that, I have to do this and I have to do that. She said, I've done that all my bloody life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
you and I have chatted about that, with me even going back to work, because I do love to give, however that looks. And if going back to work outside my business, and doing both. I mean, I've juggled two balls before. I don't know that I want to do that again, but look, I'm still undecided about that.
Look, if it's meant to be, it will be.
Exactly. And that's what you and I have had that conversation before. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I think it's a bit like that, waking up. Last night, I got a phone call to say, oh, Mum, can you have Bub tomorrow? She's, I picked her up from daycare yesterday because my daughter's in Melbourne and she's unwell. And I can. So I did that. And now she's here again today. So you just have to maneuver around what you need to do.
You know what I think it is? I think that I've always said that 2023 is the year of responsibility. It's us being responsible for our own lives. And
do you think our own reactions?
Oh, definitely our own reactions, and us doing what is right for us. And that means where our priorities are. We have had, I think that we've gone through, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but we've gone through where we've seen on all the social media, you've got to be this gung-ho, business person, and this is what you got to do, and all the rest of it. Now, I don't do any of that in the coaching. I can tell you that now, because it's not that environment. But I think that those expectations of who you must be have driven people to really
exhaustion, I would say.
Well, it's not just exhaustion. I think it's just that whole I'm not good enough. I'm not going to make it. This isn't for me. I have to have a look at, what else I can do. And I think that we really are, in all of that, where you had to be that person, your priorities had to be focused there, and everything else had to fall away, where that's not life. You know, we don't ever put our family below anything.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
Your family is the pinnacle, because you know, my story, 2010, you know, I could have lost my husband then.
That's right.
You know, Melissa, from a very young age, you know, she's my $500,000 baby, my first child, my daughter.
Yes.
And priorities, she always, my family has always had
totally.
And now is the same. Yes, there are boundaries, because now they are, as you saw, like they're adults.
That's a bit different.
And they can take the piss when they want to, like, you know, and want more, you know, maybe they're going through some shit and they need someone to lash out at, and usually we're the person. And you only ever hurt the ones you love.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And Mum always said that, you know, you only hurt the ones you love, because you know that you can lash out there and they will never walk away.
No, that's exactly right. Although people are changing these days, aren't they? People are.
Yeah, but is that programming? Is that, I mean, we've got programming that's making people so unhappy. Yeah. That they are lashing out, and then the programming is, no, well, it's all about the self. Well, I disagree entirely. I think that we need to address the root cause, and the root cause is,
I'm with you.
We need to stop people from being unhappy. And this comes up again, and I've spoken about this before. It's coming up time next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, for the Mind Body Spirit. And I went to I think I told you, we went to the home show last year and walked through the Mind Body Spirit. And I've changed a lot.
Oh, we all, well, I think
I've actually gone back to,
you haven't.
I think I've grown. I've gone back to the values that I had when I was in my late teens, early 20s, because I was made to feel like they were alien, that they were, and you didn't have that if you wanted to be accepted into the cool, you know, into life in general, which is bullshit, absolute bullshit. That's
exactly right.
And I love where I am. Like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the person that I am. But I walked through that thing last year, and there were still people there still searching for someone with a magic potion that was, you know, or a magic trick that was going to fix them. Yeah. And that is absolute bullshit. That is where we are so focused on the self, and how, you know, we focus on our negative, or the sad emotions, and what we're really going through. And that's the same as our kids. They get caught up in all that shit where they need to lash out, and where that, if we get to the root cause and get them back to the values of, you know, it's not all just about you.
No, that's right.
It is about you in balance with everyone else.
The impact of everybody else.
Yeah, but it's in balance. You've got to have the same consideration, you know, treat your neighbour as you want to be treated yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that's a large amount of, we've forgotten that. There's such a focus on, let's fix you, let's fix the individual, let's you know, there's something wrong, and it's all about the self, when it's selfish, really. Yeah. With the amount of focus between
selfish and self-care.
Yeah. But there's such a focus on the self that's, you know, it needs to be brought back into, because it's nothing nicer than a beautiful, loving family. And to get a beautiful, loving family, you have to put others before yourself at times.
Yep. My husband, he would move to foster in a flash. He loves foster.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it. And he always says to me, you know, but I know you won't move away from the kids. And I said, but don't just blame me.
Yeah.
If you were to really stop and think about it, would you really want to move away from the kids?
I couldn't.
No.
I just couldn't.
And I think women tend to be a little bit more connected with their families.
Yeah.
But, I mean, isn't that why we have that? Like, to me, that's to me, and I'm pretty sure I would be surprised if I said to him tomorrow, let's pack up and move, I reckon he'd be pushing me to move back in 12 months.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would, you know, like our grandchildren, we have a wonderful relationship with them.
Oh, I'm waiting for grandchildren.
We're so blessed.
I'm getting to the point where I'm going to put an ad out.
Well, we're so lucky, to have you. Like my son-in-law dropped off the baby this morning, and our grandson was in the car and he had the poops because he wasn't getting out.
Yeah.
But yet Pop's picking him up this afternoon and taking him swimming. So, he'll still have that balance, even though Maddie's been here all day, he'll still get picked up and have that time. But it's such a blessing to know that they want to have that part of us. So I guess taking it back to where the comment I made where people are struggling with 2023, I'm actually a little bit confused by that because I guess it becomes an expectation thing. I didn't say 2023 was going to be my best year yet because I actually don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that either.
I'm going to allow it to just be.
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably where some of the issues come about is when you set yourself up for expectation failure.
Yeah.
And so, like we're in February, for goodness sakes.
Mm-hmm.
How can the year already be a disaster?
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's just showing us the things that we need to, and it's being responsible. I'm being responsible in things that I'm doing. Taking full responsibility of what I want to achieve too. There's things that I couldn't ask for my body talk to be as any busier than what it is. It's just amazing.
Great.
And amazing work. And so, having those practitioner days and having those clients and I've got the flexibility then to have those clients slot into my day and still be able to do the work that I need to do around that.
Yeah.
And then, late afternoons are my yoga. First thing in the morning is my personal yoga, but late afternoons we were supposed to start on the 1st of February with yoga classes here. That won't happen now until the 1st of March. And the reason being is that we're still, the girl who's going to be doing the afternoon classes is still getting her stuff sorted with, where she will be. And as far as she's a PE teacher, so being able to get her, and she's got little ones. And her being able to let me know or us work together and in what's happening there. And then, I've got another guy who has, he teaches a different sort of yoga. He looks like he'll come in and do one afternoon a week. So it's, it's all happening. And then, the room's getting bookings for personal development, which is really, really good.
And it comes back to what we were saying before, isn't it? Just allowing it to be whatever it's meant to be.
Yeah. And there's nothing that will come my way that's not meant to be.
No.
And that's the beauty of it is just being able to accept and live with awareness. Like have a look around at what's coming your way and don't dismiss it so easily.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, our podcasts are a great example. How often do we maneuver and the flexibility in our podcast has been unbelievable. This morning, here I am having to message you, sorry, got my granddaughter. Can we do a bit earlier? And you got, yep, that's worked out fine because I've actually, my lady has rescheduled my appointment. So, we just work in together and we allow ourselves that space to be able to maneuver what needs to be maneuvered and change things as they need to be. We'll still get the podcast done. You'll still get what you need to done. I still get to look after my grandbaby. And it is what it is. And it just all works out well.
I think it comes back to the qualities of respect.
It always works out well.
It's the values of family, respect.
It does. It comes back to the family values and the value of yourself. What are you putting on yourself? How often do we become so highly strung and stressed out because, one, we're too, like in the situation that with you and I was thinking, wow, imagine if I had a relationship with Wendy where I just couldn't message her and say, hey, it's happened again. can we please work something in somewhere?
Yeah. But then that's us. That's that respect, I think, and it's respect based on those values, but it's also the grace. You know, it's
that we respect each other has things that need to happen and come in place. And on that respect, we're going to have to be mindful of the time because you do have to leave. So,
yes. I just looked at that and
I know, right? I was keeping an eye on it. So I'm not usually a very good timekeeper, but for today I am. So
and for that I have to say thank you, because otherwise we could talk for hours.
Well, it's only because my grandbaby's asleep and I'm probably going, oh, I've got a little bit of time to do something, and I know Wendy's got to do something anyway. So it is a short podcast this week, and we will be back next week. So have a look around you and where are you putting your priorities, and where's your stress, and where's your anxiety, and what changes do you need to make to you? We're in February, for God's sake. Make it the best day today. Make it the best
week, like until we see you again next week. Just get out and enjoy the week.
Yes, love it the best way.
If you are struggling, drop us a comment. We would love to be able to know that we're not the only ones that do this.
Absolutely.
And we want people in our community to start to know that we're there for you. So definitely leave us a comment on either our YouTube or our Instagram or Facebook group. And we're here to help if we've got something valuable to contribute. So on that note,
you need to go, Wendy.
Yes.
So don't forget, we are on Spotify. We are on YouTube with the podcast. We do share it on our socials. So take care, be kind, look after yourself, and like and follow us so you get the next episode when it's out.
Yeah. See you next week.
Big hugs. Bye for now.